Hello everyone, and welcome back to Fleet Plays Rule the Waves 3. Yes, we're back at it with your normal Tuesday dose of Fleet battering his way through Rule the Waves 3. Now, last week when we left off, we're getting through the war with Austria. And we'd gone back to a relatively long video for that week because things had gone pretty well for us. But this week, hopefully, things are going to go even better. We've got the new 4-ship unit of 18-inch armed battleships, barely a lease away from being actually part of the fleet. And we've also got the Austrian Navy pretty much on the run. Although we do need a lot of carriers to actually hammer home the victory. It's quite funny, actually. I was re-watching the last what's the word? The first episode of the campaign, and I realized that, funnily enough, the first war we ever fought in the campaign was us and Austria against France. But since that point, France has been our ride-or-die ally through thick and through thin. Whereas now, our ride-and-die ally, the French, are helping us fight the Austrians. Like, it doesn't get much better than that. But I'm just going to check everything has gone out as it should. Not quite. There we go. Right, now I can unleash the display capture on the world. There we go. And let's get on with the war. So still got poor old Andalusia of the Hispania class working up. And she won't be ready for another few months yet. Her two sisters are still being built. I've got anti-aircraft cruisers being built as well to provide more AA firepower to the fleet. I'd like to have new destroyers, especially war emergency destroyers, but I don't think I'm going to get it right now. So without further ado, let's keep going. Action with light forces. That's a little bit close to Austrian air bases, especially when they have carriers. I'm not too keen on that. We have them blockaded. Let's keep it that way. Enemy coastal raid in northern Spain. We've got, actually, one of our battle... Of course, the decline battle. One of our super dreadnoughts is working up. Now, we only have our light carrier, Almirante Severa. And unless the French are willing to consent to providing some of their carriers, which they have yet been loath to do, then we're not going to be able to fight this, because... No. Because the Austrians are going to show up with their carriers. And also, politely, I'm waiting for one of my battleships to work up. That's the point, actually. I'm just going to check my air bases in Libya. Oh, they could be bigger. And do they have full complements of aircraft? They do not. Well, let's get those stood up quickly while, you know, we're waiting for, while we're trying to get more aircraft into the fleet, especially with the Libyan air bases. Those actually kind of matter. And we're basically just going to work these cruisers through the rebuild cycle. Spania herself is 6 months away from completion. And the first of the class, which actually isn't the named ship of the class, is working up in Northern Europe. We seem to be doing okay for destroyers. Not perfect, but it could be much worse than it is. Could be a lot worse than it is. Action with light forces. Oh, no. No. There is no way in heck I am sending anything that far into the Adriatic. Oh. Apparently I have no choice. I really hope it's nighttime. Oh, thank God it is. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, but no. We're out of there. No. We're putting on speed and we're out of there. Because politely, that way lies death. I do not want to be anywhere near the Adriatic by the time the balloon goes up. Because politely, that is a very good way to get swamped by aircraft. And I really, really, really don't want that. I really, 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 really do not want that. And that way lies madness. Madness and I do not mix. I think, however, yeah, we're just about out of range. So thank heaven for that. Yeah, the Austrians definitely won that, in quotation marks. Yeah, I'm going to retire him. Oh, is he unassigned? Oh, yeah, well, we don't even know what he... Off to the laundry barge command with him. And I'm being very, very careful not to antagonize the British. Because I'm looking... Okay, the Austrians have lost 2 seaplane tenders, that's good. I'm carefully watching the British tension limit because we're not... It's not looking good. If the Germans or the Italians jump in, we're in trouble. Well, if the Italians jump in, we're in trouble. If Germany or Britain jump in, we are in serious shit. Like, it is seriously bad news. I think the next thing I need to build, actually, is build up a core of Spanish aircraft carriers. Let me get... I'm assuming they won't let me build something with that 6.6-inch guns, will they? No, that's why I've got to have this. Now give me speed-focused machinery, and I want 30 knots out of it. I'll accept 1 inch of belt armor, and I'll accept only an inch on the turrets at the turret tops. 72 aircraft is not bad for a carrier this size. That's actually pretty good. I might even be able to squeeze on some... At least a bomb deck. I'd accept a slightly smaller air wing. Actually, yeah, I'd accept a smaller air wing for at least a bomb deck and some side armor. My reason for that's quite simple. It's just because having a bomb deck on Spanish carriers, it's not really something that you can do without. It's not really something you can go, ah yes, my carrier will not be protected from bomb hits. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, our carriers need to be able to take some hits. Right. Okay, next turn. Cruiser battle. Okay. And the Austrians are down to 1 battle cruiser now, I think, since we did nobble some of the rest of them in a major fleet action. Okay. So it's 2 of our older cruisers plus 1 of our most modern cruisers plus 3 French cruisers and a bunch of destroyers. Okay. And we're in a place where we have air cover and they don't. I'm fairly confident. I know for a fact that the only dangerous Austrian-like cruiser to my modern cruisers was sunk. The only thing we don't have is, well... Okay, so the Austrians are coming in with armoured cruisers, but we do have more lights than they do. So, I mean, can we jump the Achilles? If we can jump the Achilles, that'll be a good target. And then, of course, our destroyers can loose torpedoes at the Odenburgs. I mean, to be fair, all of our cruisers carry torpedoes, so it's not surprising. And the armoured cruisers have gone tearing off down there, leaving one of the other Austrian light cruisers and one of their older ones at that out to dry. And of course the French have brought one of their modern light cruisers with them as well. It's a little bit more heavily protected than mine, but the principle is the same. 9 6-inch guns, 2 forward, 1 aft. Good stuff, good stuff. Right, okie dokie. Right, so here they come again. They're coming head first up. They only have 5 guns forward. I'm firing 9 6-inch at return. And, let's not forget, our destroyers do a mean torpedo salvo. It's part of the reason they were built the way they were. Our destroyers do a mean torpedo salvo. And when I have this much light force concentration, I am tempted to actually make use of it. Especially when the French have brought one of their modern light cruisers with them as well. I'm not just going to sit and take shell fire. No way. I think it's time for us to break off, so there we go. I'm going to free up the destroyers for a flotilla attack behind us to clear the way. That set of torpedoes should make the French veer off, which it has. Then we can sail through the Straits of Medina and rather rapidly escape from these pursuing Austrian armoured cruisers. Although I do think we are going to need new destroyers after all this is said and done, because I think we're going to lose some here. Yeah. Yeah, those Austrian armoured cruisers showing up is nasty. Very nasty indeed. Luckily though, our actual cruiser formation has been able to break contact. I did issue the withdrawal order, didn't I? Well, I am doing now. There we go. France, why are you sailing? Why are you sailing? Okay, the French have decided that they are going to sail to death. I mean, I admire their commitment, but they're just going to die slowly and painfully. Well, I really prefer they didn't. There we go, and that's going to shut that down, and any attempt they make at a close pass is going to benefit our cruisers, because their cruisers are going to have to come in for the offensive, whereas ours are not. And all of our cruisers are carrying torpedoes. I don't think their armoured cruisers do. There we go, and I think that is that. Of course, the French lose the Austrians torpedo a French cruiser, because of course they do. I couldn't make this up. Yes, we're at war, so I will have a new modern fighter. Well, okay, that tears that. Right. That absolutely tears that. I need to bring Asturias back to Northern Europe, along with all of Spain's modern cruiser force, and all of Spain's 31 and 32 knot destroyers. Have to come back to Northern Europe, because otherwise we are going to be blockaded. And I seriously hope the French are gonna commit strength to Northern Europe. They are. Right. Good. The French have committed some strength to Northern Europe, including all of their carriers, which is good because we're gonna need them. I'm gonna have to put some of the older ships on trade protection as well, which I didn't want to do. I did not want to do it at all, but well, what else can I do? There's not really much else I can do. This is a unmitigated disaster. Unmitigated disaster. This is bad. This is bad. This is very, very bad. I mean, admittedly, I have my best capital ships here to deal with it, but this is bad. This is bad. This is very, very, very bad. Oh, this is bad. This is very bad. That's... Oh, my sweet Jesus. Oh, my God. Flank. Flank speed. Get us the blazes out of there. Oh, my God. Good Lord. That is the entire royal... That is the entire battle line. I am not sticking around. No way. I am using my 1 knot speed advantage and I am running. The convoy is going to have to be left to die. There's nothing that can be done. Britain joining that war is about the worst thing that could have possibly happened. I'm going to have to order the convoy to scatter. There's nothing else that can be done. The convoy's basically got to scatter. I can't stick around. I can't stick around to defend it. All I do is die. It's one thing to come out and fight if the odds are fair, but that's like 15 battleships and carrier escort, which I don't have a counter to. That's just horrific. I just hope myself and the French are enough to keep us from being blockaded. Oh, come on. No, no, no. Don't. Do not tell me that I'm going to lose my 2 most potent battleships. No, no, don't you dare tell me. Don't you dare tell me that I am going to lose, that I'm literally going to have my campaign basically ended, and everything I've built up over the course of the last 2 episodes ruined by a battle I couldn't avoid. I can't run. I can't run. I can't run. My entire force is gonna get wiped out. There is nothing I can do. Nothing. There is nothing that can be done. Asturias is dying. Andalusia is dying. The convoy is dying. There's nothing that can be done. The 2 most modern fleet units of the Spanish Navy were just killed because I got jumped. Because the game decided I was going to get jumped. And so half of the modern fleet program is now dead. And any hope for victory in this war dies with them. Yeah, I'm just dead. I am just fucking dead. And honestly, I am not going to put the fleet to sea. I'm just not. I am just not. I'm going to have... Yeah, I'm going to be left with 2 battleships. I'm going to be left with 2 18-inch battleships. And that's it. Yeah, yeah. Fucking fantastic. Yeah. That's brilliant. That's just great. You know, I love it when that happens. That's just absolutely fantastic. You know, I love that. That's great. That's absolutely fantastic. Couldn't avoid the battle. I saw it was wrong immediately, tried to run. Couldn't do that. Carrier aircraft landed a bunch of hits. And, yeah. There's literally nothing I could do. That is so annoying. Well, annoying? I mean, annoying doesn't even come close. That's just... The last 2 weeks of the fleet renewal program are just gone. I'm not going to be able to replace my battle line with 18-inch ships. I'm only going to be able to supplement it because the 4 ships that there were going to be, there's now only going to be 2 of. And I'm going to have to build another pair of battleships as well, which pushes back the completion of the renewal program even further, meaning that my older ships have to serve even longer. That's the sort of kick in the pants, no chance to actually resist sort of thing that just really makes me want to shut the stream down early for the day, because that's just shit. That's just shit. There was nothing I could do. There was no outlooks I could do. There was no way to avoid it. The British just dropped their entire fucking active fleet on me and killed me. And that was it. I just lost. Yeah, the Spanish fleet is not putting to sea again during this war. I am just not going to sea. I'm just not. Yeah, I'm not going to sea. I don't care. Convoy. No, I am not going to sea. The British are going to dogpile me with a massive fleet. No, I'm not going to sea. I am not taking any of the Spanish Navy to sea. We can't even break the blockade anyway. So... what is the point? And now because the Austrians are unblockaded, so everything we've worked for has basically been lost. All I can do now is basically keep the Spanish fleet intact and rebuild after the war. And honestly, that battle basically cost us the entire war. Because, look at that, 47,000 victory points. There's no way we can get that back. Yeah. Basically, yeah. Okay, so the French have joined the war, but it doesn't fucking matter. It genuinely doesn't matter. Genuinely, it doesn't. Like, I'm not going to sea. I don't care if morale plummets. The morale should have plummeted when we lost the 2 most modern battleships in the Spanish Navy to a stupid action. When I basically have to lay down follow-ons to the Hispanias, which are as close to them as possible. I have no choice. No choice at all. And that whole fight being lost was not their fault. It was the fault of basically the for God's sake. More ships on trade protection. Whoopee. Convoy defense. I'm not sending the Spanish fleet out to fight. I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. There's literally no way I'm doing it. Not a cat in hell's chance. No way. I want the option to peace out. I'm not leaving port. I have lost the 2 most powerful... I've lost the only 2 ships I could have used to actually effectively fight the British. Are dead. There is no... And politely, the British outmass me and the and the British outmass me and the French combined. And that's not including the bloody Austrians. We're fucked. We're absolutely fucked. And there is nothing we can do against it. Nothing. And my ships aren't even built to fight the British. No, I am not fighting any battles. Stop giving me battles. I just want this war to be over with. There we go. Lay down 2 ships. I have no alternative. I have to. I cannot not build these ships. The only way I survive this war is by rejuvenating my battle fleet for what comes after it. And I'm not risking my fleet. I am not risking my fleet. I'm just not doing it. I'm looking at this situation and going, there's no way in which this works out for us in a way that matters. What did it think? Lost a corvette, that's annoying. And there were some of the rebuilds of course, yeah, they're sinking the ASW ships, of course they are. Right, okay. So now I've basically got to put some of the modern destroyers on trade protection, which is annoying. And, well, actually not, I'm going to pause the rebuild of the... I mean, they have prevent our stuff hitting mines, but I need them now to guard. Oh, fuck off. No. No. 9 battleships. No. I am not fighting this. I am not fighting this battle. No. 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 No, we are going to Barcelona. They can bombard the bloody target. I do not care. We're going home. Because fighting them will end only one way. We will die. So, no, we are not fighting them. Let me enter the port. Let me enter the port. Let me enter the port. Let me enter the fucking port game. Thank you. Bloody hell. Oh, for God's sake. Let me just... Why am I not getting any messages to end the... Great. I can't do anything. I can't do anything. I don't care if my prestige suffers. There's nothing I could have done. There was nothing I could have done. It's not like the Ottoman games. The games with... Oh, great. Great. Fantastic. I have fleet battle in support of land combat. Enemy Austria-Hungary. Fantastic. Basically, hey, fleet, we see you're not sorting your navy, so guess what? We're going to sort your navy for you because the game says so and force you to lose ships. Because that's what's going to happen in this action. Because the enemy is going to have carriers... And you are not. No, not playing that game. Not playing that game at all. We're going home. Libya's lost. Libya is lost. Which is the first casualty of this war. Which shouldn't have been the case, but the British, for some reason, joined the war. Don't know what caused tensions to spike with them. They were fine. They were hovering high, but there was no reason for them to join the war. We've never fought before. But yeah, once the British... Like, even when the British joined the war, I was still fairly competent. I was going to have 4 battleships soon, with 18-inch guns. Then I could build war emergency destroyers and war emergency carriers, and then we could take the fight. But no, the first action of the war ruins my entire game by giving me no chance to resist, no chance to say no. Hi, fleet, here's those 2 nice modern 18-inch battleships you have. Oh, by the way, we're going to force them to die and not give you any chance to save them or resist or alter the battle in any way. Have fun! Yeah, this really is turned from something I was looking forward to this Tuesday into just... This is rubbish. This is genuinely rubbish. No, we're not annoying anyone else to join the war. Not doing it. Besides, if I die, the French can't keep doing the intermittent... The French can't keep doing the intermittent blockade they are doing if any of my capital ships die. If any of my capital ships die, any hope of us losing the war just goes out of the window. Completely. So I basically can't commit to battle, because if I do commit to battle, basically everything dies. And the hope of victory through the hope of victory that we have through intermittent blockade dies with it. No, I'm not even going to. I am not set up for this. I need this war to be over. No, I'm not fighting any of these engagements. The only way we win is through intermittent blockade and submarine warfare. And right now, I can only do that if my fleet survives as a backstop to the submarines. Of course. Actually, can I get a different version of this design that can carry okay. 400 tons. 500 tons, 600 tons, 700 tons, 800 tons. Well, a 400 ton corvette will at least have an ASW value of 1. That'll help. An ASW value of 1 is better than an ASW value of none. If I can pump them out, I can at least deal with some of the submarine threat. No, I'm not taking any engagements right now. I would very much like it if we can get peace negotiations, please. Because the Germans are going to join the war. Oh, for God's sake. Great, another unexpected battle. Fantastic. Because now the Germans are going to join the war. Because, you know, we haven't had any option to end it. Which... Again, I know what's happening here, I reckon. The game is like, he's had a good run. Let's take everything from him. I'm going to lose all of my colonies. I'm going to lose everything I fought for, the entire campaign. And I'm going to basically have to go on a ride-or-die war against the great powers once I think I'm ready. Because there is no choice. Because otherwise, because I reckon, with the fact that I'm watching the Germans inch closer to entering the war, there is nothing we can do. Me and France are screwed. Unless I get lucky, and the game gives me, when the enemy has an overwhelming advantage, a compromised peace. Which is the last hope I have. But I know I'm losing prestige, but I need... Yeah, negotiate now. Secure a peace before our situation gets any worse. Oh, come on! Oh, great. Fantastic. An unexpected battle. I bet you they'll have 45 battle cruisers and every single carrier that Austria-Hungary possesses. Any money. Yep. Yep, there's the entire fucking Austro-Hungarian navy. Along with probably all the British battle cruisers known to man. Yep. Nope, I'm not dealing with that nonsense. No way. Not even remotely dealing with that. Yep, and there are the enemy aircraft. Yep. Like I said, all the battle cruisers known to mankind, and all of the carriers. Come on. Oh, for the love of God, I don't... Come on, just get back to port in Libya. Yay! Fucking hell, this battle is just... Yes. Yep, I'm not surprised. Yep, 2 battle cruisers, 3 of Austria's light carriers. Yeah, that was... Unexpected battle, my foot, honestly. Yep, so the Austrians have taken Libya. Fantastic. Yep, and there we go. And then Japan's going to join the war. Yep, I'm going to lose everything. I am going to lose everything I have fought for. Everything. Unless we can peace out now before fucking... Yay! Another unexpected battle! Thank you, game, for forcing me to possibly lose more ships I can't afford to lose. Beautiful. Fantastic. Brilliant. Marvellous. Love it. You gotta love it. I hate it when the game does this. I'm not fighting that. I am not fucking fighting that. We're going home. I don't mind uphill battles, but this is just stupid now. Yeah, with Germany in the war, we're screwed. There's nothing we can do now but bend over, grab our ankles, and kiss our ass goodbye. And hope to God the peace deal is lenient. I swear to God, if I lose my 18-inch capital ships, I'm going to fucking throw my screen through a window. Just genuinely. Yeah, I know. I know they're dominating the seas. I am aware they're dominating the seas. There's nothing I can do about them dominating the seas, because looking at it, we're fighting number 1, number 2, and a contender for number 3 in terms of most powerful navies on the planet. We are screwed. Completely, utterly buggered. Unexpected battle! Marvellous! Right near Ireland, where the British have a ton of air bases. Fantastic! You know what that means, folks? It means it's time for me to lose more fucking ships again. Oh great, a submarine right by my ships, because of course there is. Because, you know, I've had a good run. Now it's time for you to suffer defeat after defeat, because the game can't be allowed to have realism. You must have defeats after defeats. Fucking hell. This is the sort of thing that does make me annoyed with Rule the Waves. Shit like this. God fucking damn it. I just need this war to be over. I know I'm gonna lose it. I just don't know how much I'm gonna lose. Just good God. Honestly, this is maddening. Absolutely. Absolutely maddening. Just properly maddening. Oh yeah, that's fair. That's fair game. That's fucking fair. Yeah. 2 fucking full-size fleet carriers, 2 light carriers, 8 armoured cruisers, 3 light cruisers, 28 destroyers. That's fucking fair, innit? Fuck that. Genuinely. That's fucking stupid. Bloody hell. Good lord, honestly, this is maddening. So frustrating. Absolutely insane. It's driving me up the fucking wall. No, I am not fighting. Not doing it. I will die. I have a fuel shortage anyway, because we can't get any fuel oil. This is just maddening. This is absolutely maddening. I'm not going to collapse into revolution, I don't think, but unless we can get a peace offering soon, we're fucked. Absolutely fucked. Completely fucked. There we go. A new type of war emergency build destroyer, hopefully to bulk up our destroyer numbers once I'm done with the next wave of frigates being built. No, we're not fighting. Politely, the only thing I'm interested in now is preserving as much of my fleet for the post-war period as possible. Oh, fuck. don't make me go into battle. Okay, Trident is safe. Oh, is it a convoy mission? No, it's not. Right, okay. Oh, that's right! Okay. The only way to friendly... Okay, no, we're just going to run east. We're just going to run east. That's what we're going to do. We're going to run east. We're going to run east, run east, run east, run east, run east, run east. No, we're running to the east. We're running to the east into the Aegean Sea. Now, the Austrians have our air bases in Libya. I don't even have those to fall back to. Yep, here come the aircraft. Yay! Here we go, boys. Time to lose more battleships because the game has decided to fucking make things unfair. Again. Fucking hell, this is stupid. Bloody hell. Yay! Liberté is hit by a torpedo. Yay! I'm gonna lose this entire task force. Isn't this fun? Isn't this game fun when stupid shit like this happen? And a war that was going to be fun and enjoyable fucking turns into a game-ruining war because fucking the game decides to dogpile Britain and Germany on top of the alliance that was having fun beating up on the Austrians and having a decent, hard-fought war? Of course it is! How can I not be enjoying myself? This is fun! And here come more. There's nothing I can do. If I turn and fight, I die. I can just run. All I can do is run. And that's so frustrating in a game where I've fought against uphill odds before. But I can't do it at this point because I don't have the carriers to do it. And against the Austrians, while that was a problem, it was an acceptable problem because the Austrians didn't have enough carriers that it was... And also, you know, I had the French on side as well, helping me. Against this Colossus of an Entente, yeah. And great, thank you. Yeah, the game decides, you know what? He didn't fight. I'm gonna kill one of his armored cruisers with a submarine that was randomly there. Fucking Jesus Christ. Yeah, fuck off. Dickhead, you couldn't avoid that battle. Yay, Germany has invaded Norway, so I'm going to lose that as well. All of the stuff I have worked for is... Yep, and Japan is going to join the... Japan is going to join the war. That's basically not up for debate at this point. I'm basically going to die. I just want the war to end. I just want the... I'm going to lose. I am going to lose stuff. I don't know how much I'm going to lose. Just for God's sake, can we please, please, please get it over with? I know I'm going to lose the war. Can we stop dragging it out and just carve up the Empire? No, situation is desperate. Seek whatever terms we can get. Thank fuck, the war is over. Okay. That's not so bad. The French lost a ton of colonies. We only lost Cameroon and it was granted independence. Okay. Alright. That That could have been so much worse. We dodged a massive bullet. We only lost Libya. We only lost Libya to the Austrians, and believe you me, I'm gonna come and get that fucking thing back. That could have been so much worse. And we didn't lose any of the ships we've been working on. So, I'm gonna have to scrap Guerrero. She's got to go. I've still got the prestige to do things like that. Mothball the two older vessels. Put the two Espanias in First Battle Division. And put the battle cruiser Alejandro I into reserve. Navarras can go into mothballs. Oh, no, she's on foreign station. Yeah, those two ships are on foreign station until I can get more corvettes to replace them. The Miguel de Cervantes class can go into mothballs. And everything, the Kiso class can go into mothball. Actually, you can be scrapped. The light carrier Almirante Severa can go into the reserves. And that leaves me with that. That is acceptable. I can actually work around that. That's not too much trouble. No, I can't afford that. I need the money I've got to keep the construction programs I've got going. And of course, we've got the... And I can afford to build one battleship in peacetime. That's the point. Where was the US in all that? Where was the US in all that? They were supposed to be our ally. Where were they? Well, okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. Right. Nope, we can't afford it right now. Yes. Oh, we didn't even succeed in that. That's annoying. Well, the budget's balanced now, so I can at least finish... Yeah, I can at least finish the other 18-inch ships, but I am also going to scrap our airship bases. And since the spare budget will allow it, we're also going to build some of these new destroyers as well, because we need them. You cannot be serious. You have just seen what happens when you don't give me the money I ask for, and you want to reduce naval spending? We barely held on to the Empire by the skin of our teeth, because we rode... Oh, you've got... Oh, great. So now I can't take Libya back. That's really, really, really annoying. And I mean really annoying. Right. Okay. So we've just about managed to keep everything nice and balanced. You know what? Yeah, bring tension down, bring prestige up. That's not a bad idea. Oh, hang on. Halt everything for a second. I'm actually going to slash the research budget to 5% to get us out of that deficit for a second. And the reason why I'm doing that is because... There we go. And then back up to 12% of the budget. There we go. Good lord. Hello, YouTube Minecraft watcher. Nice to see you. Good lord, that could have been... That could have been so much worse. It wasn't, thank God, but it could have been. It could have been so much worse. Luckily, though, it wasn't. And I'm going to get the 4 18-inch battleships I wanted, rather than... They're slightly late, but slightly late is better than never. No, give me my ship back. I'm not messing around. Oh, really? Please don't vote to reduce naval spending. I'm barely finishing the war emergency programs from the last war as it is, and I need them because, well, otherwise we're not going to get what we want. Typical. The politicians want 9 destroyers, and they don't even give me the budget for 9 destroyers. I mean, I'm not going to complain. We do need more destroyers. That's not really up for debate. But Italy, no. I don't care what you think. No. You, of course, the Italians nick off with roads. That's annoying. Okay, that's important. That's very important. Yeah, we need... We really do need... we really do need... radar. Radar could give us back the edge we lost to everyone else. Okay, the Chinese are building a carrier. That's fairly impressive. Good for them. We need, absolutely need, to finish off the Castella de Leon class. Well, there we go. She's actually... No, Japan, you don't get Northern Korea. I don't care what you think. No. Okay. Right, so I'm just going to save my money for a little bit. And then next month we will build all of the destroyers for 1 month. Just to keep the top brass happy. Ooh, that is actually pretty good. I am absolutely going to buy that. Yes, we will have a new modern fighter aircraft. Maneuverability and speed seems to work out quite well for our fighters. And then halt construction of all of those. And then resume construction on the last of the... Well, there would have been 6, but now there's only going to be 4 of this style of 18-inch armed battleship. How's your day? YouTube Minecraft Roger says he saw an alternate Iowa design that someone wanted to put in wargaming, to put in World of Warships for Italy. Well, that's I mean, good for them. I mean, I don't know why they would want to have an alternate Iowa design for Italy, given the Iowas have nothing to do with the Italians. You know, yeah, slash the budget to 8%. That should give me enough funding to keep things going. The Nassaus were fairly tough, weren't they? Yeah, the Nassaus were fairly tough ships. Honestly, I am a little bit low on battleship tonnage right now after the last war. It could be converted into a carrier. It would take less time than the new builds. 23 knots, that could give me 28, which could work with our light carrier. No, I've got older ships of my own I can use for that. Yes, absolutely, please do. I'll give you half that number of cruisers. It's always the bigger side of the half as well. Well. Right, where's the rebuilt cruiser? Was she sunk? Was she sunk during the war? She was scrapped. She was scrapped. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Nope, okay, she was sunk. Yeah. Great. Fantastic. Brilliant. That's just peak. peachy. Right. Okay. Well, I do need an anti-aircraft cruiser. That's not really up for debate. It's not really up for debate at all, actually. Forward. Forward superimposed, aft superimposed, aft, doubles. It has to be at least capable of at least 32 knots. Oh good lord, they do not need that level of armor on the conning tower. They certainly don't need that level of armor on their turrets, or their belts, to be fair. And they're not really designed to get into slap, well, I suppose, not having cruisers on, just not having, 30 knots. 30, you know what, 30 knots, fine, I can live with that, that's acceptable. Besides, these are basically just supposed to be a crash build cruiser that will keep the naval top brass happy. Well, I think about what's going to follow our current generation of battleships. And I don't have enough carriers to make use of carrier force, even if I want to. Yep. So I need... H Microfudge says, what it was about was a post-war IO, one of the two that won finished IRL. Give it improved 15-inch 50, 3x3, along with 5-inch 54, a secondary battery, and a massive upgrade to the radar, like USS Missouri, made with torpedoes mounted on the stern instead of planes. That's stupid. And I mean that in the politest possible sense of whoever's idea that was. First of all, if the Italians are getting a battleship post-war, they already have 2 modern battleships of their own that they can reactivate in their own yards to rebuild their own naval industry. Secondly, if they are for some reason being given an Iowa, then they're getting an Iowa as is. It's not gonna have Italian guns and Italian armament. It's going to be given to them as a completed Iowa, because the US is not gonna go to the trouble of reworking an Iowa like that. It's just daft, yeah. That naval patrol aircraft is worse than the one we currently have. No, I'm not going to accept them into service. Okay, Spanish rebellion's broken out in the Philippines. Right. Okay. Well, this is a good test. This is a good test for the Navy. Send the fleet out. Send the fleet out to the Philippines. We'll crush that rebellion. I did not fight a war and preserve that territory to lose it to a rebellion. No thank you. Oh no, no. Italy, you cannot have Morocco. I don't care if it brings me close to war, you cannot have Morocco. Just no. Absolutely not. Absolutely, unequivocally, no. There we go. That helps with that. It does get me 32 aircraft. I'm probably going to crash build a bunch of these carriers once the cruiser program and the capital ship program is done. It's utterly ludicrous. At this point, take Iowa's model and give it to the Italian tree just to shut them up. I mean, I don't even know who they are, so I'm not gonna pass comment on that without knowing all the full story behind it. What? Are you kidding me? Are you actually fucking having a joke? Fucking Jesus. Really? Fucking really? You're kidding me. Oh, that's just stupid. So I lost the Philippines in a second. Like I had a massive amount of fleets out there, but apparently that wasn't. Apparently having like an equivalent of 5 extra divisions worth of naval infantry wasn't enough, so I lost the Philippines, which has tanked my budget even further after the last war. Which just I just fucking Jesus. Shut up. Okay, need to halt construction on Castelleon again. Jesus. No, I'll apologise for the error in terms of prestige hit because I can't afford to have a war right now. Right, no, I can't afford to build carriers right now. I need my new battleships quickly. We just halt 2 of the cruisers so I can actually get them. I will blame China. I will blame China for everything, and the fact that we lost the Philippines, just that's really, really frustrating. Like rebellion, 2 seconds later, we're free. Oh yeah, like what happened to the multi-turn rebellions that everyone else seems to get, and they're just able to put down really quickly. I mean, when you Minecraft watcher, I mean, influencers are, well, whether influencers support something or not should have no impact on what other people support or don't support. Okay. Right, let's get these new cruisers. This territory of vital strategic importance. The Navy is strongly against this. Yes. Yes, absolutely. I will buy that carrier. I will absolutely buy that carrier. If the French are willing to sell me carriers, then I am absolutely... And I'm going to leave the French name intact because, well... Okay, oil plus turbines. Unfortunately, it's got short legs, but that's okay. I can add a lot of speed to it. Give it advanced directors. Give it more AA directors. Give it much more in the way of medium AA. And much more in the way of light AA as well. Do we still have tonnage spare? Fantastic. So I can't armor it, but I can increase the number of aircraft it can carry by a, well, quite frankly, ludicrous degree to 84 aircraft. Will it cost a lot? Actually, no. Let me just, well, first things first, let me up the ammunition count per gun to 200. Yes. Will it cost a lot? Yes, absolutely. It absolutely will. But it'll cost less than building a new carrier from the keel up. Which is kind of the whole point of this. I don't want to build a new carrier from the keel up. I want to build a... First of all, it takes me 12 months to get a carrier that's relatively effective. Which is very short build time. Yeah, no, China, you don't get Sakhalin. I don't care what you think you deserve. No. No. Encourage France to take a hard line with Germany. No, actually no, because they have an alliance with everyone else, and I really don't want to fight multiple people. I'll build you half that many submarines. Yeah, I'll build 7 coastal boats. After all, they have been proving relatively effective in previous conflicts. Nothing wrong with that. And I'll halt the carrier construction to fund it. God almighty. Oh, this annoys me. Okay, right. Well, I've got 4 ships with 18-inch guns. They're the new core of the Spanish Navy, and the poor old battlecruiser Alejandro I. If I was to rebuild her into a carrier, because she's not really got much upgrade potential as a battleship. If I rebuilt her into a carrier, obviously replaced her machinery again, dropped it down to 28 knots, the same speed as the rest of my carriers, what can I get away with? I think, actually, if I accept a low aircraft count, I can't armor her, actually. But she can carry a very, very, very nice amount of, AA firepower. A very, very nice amount indeed. That's a little bit shy of her maximum tonnage. We can carry 46 aircraft. And that will only take, so again, it's costly, but it will only take, and if I actually go bulged, which means she's going to be more protected against attacks, I'm going to go for 30 knots, which will mean that she... And let me just drop some of these guns down to single mounts. And one of the forward guns down to single mounts, there we go. And that then saves weight, which means she can do 30 knots, which means she can actually do 28 is what we need. And I'm going to drop to 42 aircraft, because that means she'll be very well protected against... Really? They won't allow her without 8 8-inch guns. You've got to be having an absolute monkey. Right, okay, fine, if that's what you want, if that's what you need, if that's what you absolutely have to have, fine, be that way, you can have your 8-inch gun carrier. There. If you absolutely have to have that, you can have it. That basically means I'm going to have to give up the bulging because, well, I can't really afford to do it if I'm going to have those bloody 8-inch casemates knocking around. But does mean I can still have 46 aircraft, that will do. Not right now, I can't really afford it, but I'll keep that rebuild in mind. Oh, you've got to be shitting me. Really? Really? Oh, fucking... Why can't the game do that? Saves the designer's rebuild. Doesn't actually save the fucking designer's a bloody rebuild. And let me guess. Won't authorize it without 8 8-inch guns. Of course it won't. Right. Okay. Well... That'll do, that's acceptable. Alright, 28 knots is fine. Carry 44 aircraft. 4 AA directors. 20 medium AA. 26 light AA. Advanced director for the guns, 80 rounds of ammunition. That will do. Topside weight exceeded, you cheeky bastard. There we go. Okay, yes, I do want to go to the rebuild dialogue. Yes, I will put her in for her rebuild, but she can wait for now and join the crew of vessels waiting for their slot in the rebuild queue to actually come up. Because we are going to get the ability to do that, because as the cruisers and destroyers finish, there will be space in the budget for the carriers. And finishing these carriers is absolutely vital, because, as was proven in the last war, not having these very, very vital vessels proved to basically be our undoing. And not having them was a massive detriment. no, we're not signing any naval treaties. They're just gonna basically condemn us to ruin. So no, not signing any naval treaties. Not happening. Yes, the lives of our pilots are important. No thank you, Japanese government. I don't need anything you're selling. There we go. Resume construction on the carrier. And there we go. The Hawk Party has assigned more budget. This is very nice. And we will give them double the amount that this company is asking for. And they still can't beat the enemy. That's annoying, but hey-ho, what are you going to do? Once I have finished these 2 light cruisers, I want to see if I can actually adapt the design. Actually, I might go back to the drawing board with some of our larger cruisers, specifically the last generation of cruisers that we built prior to the outbreak of the last war. With the developments in technology we now have, it might be possible to actually squeeze more out of them. Which I actually think I can do. Yes, I absolutely can. And I might actually try and squeeze more heavy AA in. And I do believe I actually can, which is fantastic. Can drop some of the light AA mounts to bring us under the topside load limit. And that gives us, for only 500 tons more, a much improved light cruiser that can form the backbone of our new generation of light cruisers. And we're actually getting the budget to go through with this plan. In fact, I might even be able to... In fact, I think I'm going to lay down another destroyer. Okay, apparently below average aggressive. No, get rid of him. Get rid of him. I know. Take it to the International Court in The Hague. Yep, because I'm not confident who did it, and I am not ready to get into a fight with the Italians right now. Our cruiser force just is not ready for it. Not ready for it at all. And I also want to rather massively bulk up our carrier fleet, which I can now do by building the Granadas. The Granadas are very much... They were designed as war emergency carriers, but they have been slightly upgraded to have slightly more in the way of AA firepower. And then there'll be 2 more laid down to give us... Actually, I'll probably lay down 1 more and then actually use the rest of the funding freed up by the completion of the rebuild of Alejandro I into a carrier to build another modern light cruiser, because otherwise I'm not going to have another modern light cruiser, and that will be bad. Bad for business, bad for everything. Well, the Hawk Party does keep throwing me a bone, which is quite nice. Okay, there we go. So we've got our new carriers. This is very nice indeed. Okay, so another light carrier. Another modern light cruiser. And I actually am going to... Let's actually see if we can work up a new modern destroyer. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these superimposing mounts. And we're going to switch to 4 5-inch mounts. instead. Actually, you know what? I'm going to drop it down to singles again. The thing is, our destroyers have always been torpedo boats rather than gunboats. That's what they've always been. So in fact, then, yeah, let's actually... Yeah, let's actually have some splinter protection. Let's actually put... Let's put some gun shields on these things. There we go. And... Actually, no. Let's see what the designer spits out for a new model destroyer. Now... That's much bigger, but the costs involved aren't that much higher. And it gives me a massively superior ship compared to what I would otherwise have. Although the cramped accommodation is not ideal. Luckily I can fix that. So, we'll actually start building some of those. Now, Alejandro I is not going to have as many aircraft as the monstrous ex-French ship that we were sold, Amiral Dupère. And I think she's named one of the admirals that fought alongside us during the various wars we've been a part of. She's a big bugger, carrying 84 aircraft. She's one of the larger carriers in the world. I think. Yeah, the Germans have just finished a monster in the form of Bernburg, but not much more than that. The Japanese, I know, have built a monstrous battle cruiser, which they've called Yamato, which I think is a deliberate attempt to, you know, match the ships that I've been building. Poor old Chinese, bless them, are stuck with basically having to work into carrier doctrine rather than having to adopt anything else. The Yamato class, though, are clearly an attempt for them to enter the modern battle cruiser game. Now I have to think about what I'm going to do to respond. Now, I have 4 ships. I want 6, ideally. I want 6 modern fleet units available to actually make this work. Now, in terms of what my options are here, if we increase the ship's weight to 33,000 tons, that buys me triple turrets, which is a bit weird. Now, we could go for a balanced design with 9 15s, which should do 27 knots. And while that would in theory work, again, there's the whole fact that what I'm aiming for here, really, the problem is, no, having a ship that's a previous generation killer no longer really works. Whatever design I go for has got to be able to kill things that are resistant to 18-inch guns, because that's what's happened now. That's basically what's happened, and I need to be able to kill things that have that level of protection. Now, the carriers will help, no doubt, but yeah, and again, we keep losing dockyards, which is not ideal. Well, we're going to get another modern... Oh, okay, yeah, our dockyards really do want us to have modern cruisers. But we've got 4 light cruisers building. Let's halt the construction on the ships that are a little bit behind, and let's just make sure we can finish the newest cruisers that we're building No, I'm not going to tender for a new torpedo bomber right this second. No, I'm not going to tender for a new dive bomber either. It's all a bit interesting. I need to also think about rebuilding some of my older ships. But the question is, of course, finding the money to actually do it. Which I don't think I'm going to be able to do right this second. But it is now coming up on 9:30, and I'll be honest with you, that was tiring. The war that I thought was going to be rather fun to finish off this session turned into a hellscape of horrific proportions. And then, of course, it just got worse after that, losing the Philippines to a rebellion that fired off, and then literally they won a second later. And yeah, we lost Libya in the conflict with Austria. Now, not all is not lost for the Spanish. Next week, we'll be able to really crack this wide open, I think, and come back with a vengeance. We've got new cruisers in the pipeline. We've rebuilt our destroyer numbers after the last war. I plan to keep rebuilding our destroyer numbers, keep rebuilding our cruiser numbers. We've got a quartet of modern battleships to serve as the hammer. We've actually got 2 carriers to serve as the anvil. We're building up to a strength of 4 light carriers. It's not a force that's massive, but it's large enough that I can deal with some of the minor carrier powers, like the Italians, like the Austrians, like the Chinese. Which means hopefully, and that the plan next week will be, once I've got myself set up in a way I'm happy, I will probably dogpile the Italians, which the Austrians are hitting, and see if we can take Sardinia off them, which would be a nice replacement for Libya, even though the loss of Libya does mean that we have lost our domestic oil, which is incredibly annoying. Take care, everyone. I hope you had a good stream. You've actually been treated to Ranting Fleet, which is something you don't see very often. So, take care, everyone. And I will catch you all next week.